Hi everyone, and welcome back to Prevention in My Kitchen. Listen, this is normally what it looks like in my kitchen. I know I always have you come into my kitchen and I make you some kind of a recipe or you just join me for whatever I happen to be cooking at the time. But I thought I'd sneak into my kitchen when what normally happens is happening. So wave, this is my husband Bruno, who's also a preventionist and a family educator. And most of the time, he's the one that you find in the kitchen. So I wanted to start, we're actually doing a 3-part series, and he's making today, just in case you were wondering, I think he's making date oatmeal cookies, is that right? Oh, he's got a whole recipe. Oh yeah, Bruno's raisin oatmeal date night cookies. All right, listen. So Prevention in My Kitchen is designed so that we give you one skill that you can use with your kiddos right away to really increase connection, make sure that you're doing everything you can to bring peace at home. When you have challenges, what that looks like, we really try and get you a skill so that you can work on those things. I brought notes to today's because today I want to talk about something that's a little bit more challenging for us sometimes as families. So part 1, we talked about prevention, what we need to do for bonding, boundaries, and monitoring. Part 2, I want to talk about something a little bit harder, and that is, what do you do when you notice that your kid is struggling in some way? So how do you handle it? And I brought a few things because sometimes when you think about like what are kids doing or what's gone wrong or what are the signs that you're seeing, you might be asking yourself like, what signs should I be concerned about? So I wanted to just show you some of these things. So we think about early signs like, do they have mood shifts? Are they pulling away from you? Some of that is normal, but you want to pay close attention. How about a new friend group or sleep changes or if they're disconnected from school? Listen, sometimes they're just hungry. Let's just be real. Or sometimes their hormones are going a little bit crazy, right? And that's just natural. But what happens sometimes as parents, parenting adults, is we look at that and we think, well, that seems to be normal, so I don't have to concern myself. Or we overly concern, and we're literally there on Google putting all of the signs that they're telling us something's wrong. And so what I want to do is just walk us quickly through, what do you do if you see that you need more connection because they're struggling in some way? So I also I wanted to make sure that we had lots of resources because you might be a little concerned, but maybe it's nothing to be super concerned about, or it could be signs that something truly is wrong. So I wanted to make sure that we had lots of resources. So the best way to think about this, friends, is don't jump to conclusions because honestly, like you're gonna get a stomach ache. That was the dog. Even the dog is a part of today. You're gonna get a stomach ache if you jump to conclusions. This is one of those moments, because I am a parent and I have been in these shoes. So this is one of those deep breath moments. Okay, we see that they're struggling. All right, now, what you want to do is you want to start thinking through, okay, how can I connect with them the best? And here's something interesting. I think this happens a lot of times is we panic a little bit and then we either don't say anything at all because we get nervous, or we over talk, or we get panicky and we start to ask a lot of questions. I'm just as guilty as you are, so don't worry about it. But what I want you to do is take a deep breath, and then I want you to lead this conversation with curiosity. Instead of panic, curiosity. If you need to go for a walk before you do, if you need to think about it overnight, if you need to phone a friend and talk it out, do that. And then begin to create that connection with your child and lead with curiosity. So you could say things maybe like, I noticed you were a little anxious today. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Here's some other things. I love this one. These are some of the ones I wrote down for us. How about this, friends? And you do this in a natural way, by the way. So it could be like when you're cooking dinner or something like that. Scale of 1 to 10, how's your heart today? So what are you doing? You're opening the door. You're opening the door. And then, and again, remember, you may hear things that you're not gonna like. And so again, for you, deep breath, don't panic. It's nothing to be panicked about. When we think about the fact that our kids are going through something, it can often panic us or make us feel like we did something wrong. Your kid is gonna be okay. What we have to do is think about what are our next steps. And so it's in that conversation with them and the people around them. Maybe you have a conversation with the school, the teachers at school. Maybe you have a conversation with the counselor at their school. Maybe you call a member of your clergy. But primarily, you want to be able to have those open door conversations. Now, if you are struggling having those open door conversations at all, go back to our last video. Have one-on-one time, my time, where you're just allowing them to choose the activity. Spend a little bit of time rebuilding the scaffolding in your relationship, because listen, sometimes kids will tear it down with their own hands. And that is just, it's life. It's part of who they are when they're growing up. They don't know any better. And so you want to spend a little time rebuilding that scaffolding. Bring the people around them that care about them into the fold. Maybe you're not the one that can talk to them right now. And listen, don't feel bad. We've had kids over the years that maybe I wasn't the one, but Dad was.
We still have them.
We still have those kids. We do. We still have all of them. Or maybe he couldn't talk to them at the time, but I could, or my dad could, or their teacher could, or a youth pastor, or a scout leader, or any of those people. Bring the people in that care about your kid. Let's build up some of the things around them to make sure that they're doing okay. This is not about us punishing, it's about us connecting, okay? So I just wanted to come on and give you a little bit, just a few tips. We know where you are, we know how hard that feels, but it is not time to panic. It's time to say, we can do hard parenting things, and then use the tools that you have in order to move to the next step with your kid. In our third series, we're going to talk about something even more serious. What do you do if you know they're really in trouble? What do you do if you know they're using, or you find out that they're using? What do you do if there are some signs that they've been doing things that they shouldn't be? So we'll talk about that in our third video series. So please be sure, like and share this. You can go on our deltaprevention.org website. I've got lots and lots of really great resources for you there, including other places that you can go and get help, and lots of ideas on what to do as a parent or a parenting adult. So thank you all so much. I will have to let you know how the date night cookies turn out. I think we need a date night. Have a great one, everyone.